And we are live. Let me just tweet that out real quick. Okay, so appreciate everybody for joining this evening. So today's goal is to come up with a, basically what I'll do is just kind of ask, y'all pick a date. I think it's got to be, let's see, if I go on demand, let's see, we could pick as far back as, okay, so this is 2017. Let's see how far we can get. We can go up to June 2018. So, anywhere back there, it looks like you go back to 2014, and we can run that data. What? No, actually, can you do that? I didn't ever even saw it before. Can I go this month? Or last month? Like October 17th? Let's see. Oh, cool. So what is that? October? Oh, awesome! Yeah, I just thought I was limited by what it was before. Okay, that's great. So, so yeah, appreciate everybody for joining in. So, once you get a chance, just give me a date, and we'll go back and we'll take a look at that, and I'll just kind of show you how I walk through the open. And I'm going to pause this right here so it doesn't take up too much data speed. And yeah, well, let me refresh this right here. Sorry, a little bit of slow internet this evening. I should be streaming. Yeah. Oh, hey guys. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so if somebody wants to just like plug in a date, or just put a date in the chat window, what I'll do is, yeah, today what I'm doing is I'm going back through the on-demand feature in Thinkorswim. So all you do is if you have Thinkorswim, you click on on-demand, and this is a great way to practice, to hone your skills for different setups that you like. And you could pick 10 days and just go to a time frame on that day that you think you would look for something to trade, and do that. So today, tonight, what I'd like to do is just go, have you guys just plug in a date, in the chat window there if you can. Otherwise, I'll just pick a random one. And but just the reason I'm asking you to plug something in there is so you don't think I'm pulling something out of nowhere. You'll just kind of see how I set up a trade. So this was requested through Twitter, so that's kind of what I'm taking a look at tonight. So if you don't have a particular date, I'll just pick a random one. So what I'll do is I'll just go, let's see, we'll go, I don't know, let's go back to 2017. Let's do June of 2017, and we'll do the 14th, and we'll go ahead and go, we'll give us a couple minutes to get ready here. So 9, wait, do I have to do 09? Hold on, yeah, 09, oop, 09, and we'll go 25, and we'll just go and see where we're at there. Okay, so June, oh look at that, it's way down there, that's per monster. Okay, yeah, so that's June 13th, because the day hasn't started yet, so that's good. All right, so let's kind of take a look according to, let's see if the futures data comes up. Let's see if they have that loaded on June. Let me hit play. There we go. All right, let's see if the and like I said, this is a great way for you to practice trading certain time frames, right? So what I'm going to try to do here is just show you how I would trade the open. So let me go back to here. All right, so yeah, this is kind of showing the futures. It's really tough because the data is really kind of loading slow, which is annoying. But you can see here it's 9:25 a.m. on June 14th. It looks like just to kind of zoom in, let's go to the SPY, just because that's where I like to. Okay, so the SPY was, let's go to the monthly, see how we're looking on the monthly there. Okay, keep in mind guys, it's June 14th, okay, and I believe it's 2017, all right, so this is over a year ago. Okay, so, we've got, monthly was green, it had a monthly hammer up, so it's taking that up, we're halfway through the month. The SPY was cooking an inside week at the time, and the 14th was a Wednesday. Right? So it was a Wednesday. We got 4 minutes here to the open. Anyway, so on the daily, it looked like it had a nice hammer, an inside hammer, and it took that inside hammer up the previous day. So we'll see if we get some follow through, this day. And then this is what I look at. So when I trade the open, right? So I'm here. We got 4 minutes till the open. So I look at these these bars here, these 60-minute close bars, right? So I really like that this is over the VWAP. You get a hammer here over the VWAP. So I'm just going to kind of scan through a couple 60s and just see what we got, and we'll see how it trades at the open. Let's see if we have any inside 60s too. I like those. So that's kind of on the news, Facebook, Apple. Yeah, it's at 145. Don't think it can't get back there, right? So I did like that. It's almost like a shooter there. Look at that. Amazon just a year ago was at 900, so don't think that we're that far away from that. Netflix, 150. Gotta love it. Okay, so Netflix actually looks pretty interesting here to trade at the open. So you had an inside 60 that closed under the VWAP. So I'm just kind of looking here. I see like these are the days here. So it gaps up. So we'll watch and see what it does. So you can't really see the futures here, so I don't get that to my advantage right now. So the market opens in 3 minutes. So I'm not really getting to see the future indicators that I normally like to see, and I'm not getting the pre-market data really coming through. But you can see it's gapping up here. Let's see so Netflix looked good. Nvidia, how much volume was there on the close? Kind of dribbled off there. Let's see, Google looks interesting. There. Yeah, this is like a Tesla. Oh, look at Tesla back at 380 back then. Gosh, if only Elon didn't tweet that. Yeah, so that was pretty solid too. So those are interesting ones to look at. And of course, I think the easier ones to look at are, the cheaper ones. Oh, look at AMD. This is back in the day when it was 11 bucks. Gosh, it was so hard to trade back then because it just never came off it. Let's see, Twitter, 17 bucks. Gosh, it's amazing how these things increase in value. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting too. So the most interesting one, let's see, SPY, and I think Netflix was the most interesting one. SPY is worth watching too because it had the hammer on it. So the range on this one was 38 cents on SPY, and Netflix was, let's see, we got 2 minutes to the open. And see, I like Netflix too because it was an inside 60. Now, according to this, it's gapping up $2, right? So it's going to open up here somewhere. So my theory, right, and the way I trade the open is, okay, so if it gaps up here, right, I'm not going to chase the gap unless there was news that day. I'm just looking here. It would show me if there were earnings or something like that. I wonder if I can see if there's news for that day. No, this has got the current, so it's not tying the news for that day. That'd be pretty cool though. So anyway, the way I would look to do is unless there's real news that came out that day to gap up, let me see if everything's gapping up. Yeah, see, everything is gapping up that day. Yeah, see, Facebook was gapping up. So we'll just figure the market was gapping up that day, and I'll just show you, how I would trade it. So we got 1 minute here before it opens, and we'll just watch the price action while this goes. Okay, so. And this is all I'm doing here is just showing you how I trade 60s at the open, right? So this is the anchor. So the idea is what I would do is that we're going to gap up. So I'll see how it handles if it fades back in, right? So when it fades back in, I'm going to watch how it handles this bar, right? If it comes in and it breaks it to the downside, I might consider shorting it there, right? Because that would be under the VWAP and it would be a hammer failure, an inside down. But I'll also watch the price action too and kind of see if any of this stuff pops up here because I like to see what the futures are doing and I like to see what other stocks are doing too. If everything's flashing green, while this is going red, well, there might be a good reversal coming in there too. So let's see, we got 5 seconds here to the open, so let's see what it does. I think it's going to gap about here, and we'll see. Now I'm going to do a trade in Thinkorswim. It's obviously see, so a gap up here. I'll see what it does. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I got some power right at the open, and there it goes. Look at that, it's ripping. So let's see if it takes out the prior day's high, or let's see, it's going back in. So we'll see what it does. I'm not going to chase a gap like this because there's no news on it right now. If like Netflix had, and it might have, there's no news that I could see, right? So if Netflix had gotten an upgrade that day and it gapped up like this, yeah, I would probably consider at this point doing like I said, maybe a 5-minute or a 15-minute ORB on it, right? So here's your 15-minute. Obviously hasn't done anything yet. We're not even a minute into the bell yet, into the market. But I would look at the 5s and see how that looks. 5 is really super strong, right? And just see how that closes, right? But right now, it's still doing price discovery. So, of course, this is back in 2017, so everything pretty much was buy the dip then, and everything was ripping, so you could just buy the open and get rich. So we'll see. These days, you definitely can't do that. Like today, for instance, right now, the futures were up. I think that's a shorting opportunity all day. So I'm just gonna let this go for about just 5 minutes, just so you can watch it and just kind of see, and then we'll step through it because I don't want to take too much time. Yeah, that was really strong that morning. It's already up $1. Let's see if it takes out the prior day's high, 155.68. Looks like it's going to. Or we'll see if it stalls out there too. It might stall and come back. And at this point, obviously, this is something I can't catch. So it's funny, AMD's down a penny, but it was $11 back then. See, look, it hit yesterday's high and came in, right? So a lot of people are there waiting to try to go long right before it breaks that, right? And the price loves to do that. It loves to catch you, especially in that first one, like how the saying goes, the first mouse gets the squeeze and the second mouse gets the cheese, right? So this one got squeezed here to the downside, you know what I mean? But got trapped. So let's see. So it tried to hit that yesterday's high, failed. It came back in right away, right? And that's why you use these anchors as an idea. So let's see if it comes in all the way back down to this here in the next minute or so. And like I said, this is in Thinkorswim on demand, and all you do is you click that button and you can pick a date. I don't know how far back you could go, but like I said, I mean, it was pretty decent that, I can go back in October at least. I don't know where it limits you there. So, let's see, everything else was doing pretty good. I'm just going to go, we'll come back to Netflix here. I just want to see what everything else was doing. SPY was, yeah, see, look. SPY had this hammer here, right? And the high there is 244.61, and the low 244.62. So it missed it by a penny, right? So usually like a full continuity is it's going to tag it right to the penny. So we'll see what it does. It might come back in again and test the middle of this range. Let's go back to Netflix. Yeah, it kind of stalled out a little bit. Gave a nice push there at the beginning. I mean, you could have made some, whatever. You don't want to chase those gaps, but did a nice push. Is coming back in. Let's see. The video was red that day. Let's see how that looked. See, isn't that interesting? So here, I don't think that was quite inside. Let me see. It was just a little bit over it, but look what it did. Open, came up, and as soon as it took that bar down, push below the VWAP too. 2438. And if you guys are bored right now watching it, that's a good thing, right? It looks like I've lost some people. Oh, hey, what's up, Carl? Sorry. Yeah, I would do 3 times, but I want you guys just kind of really just kind of see how the price moves, because when you're watching this on your own, like, it feels like it's way faster than this, right? Like, it goes so fast. So I think it's good to just kind of just be able to see how it goes. I'll do that when I click to the other time frames. We'll click over to 11:30, and we'll click over to 1:30 and 2:30, and I'll go fast on those just so you can see it. But this, I think it's really important to see how the open trades and how to use these bars, as a guide. See, it faded right off that top one, and then you go and you look at, what I would be doing is look at my futures, see where they're going. But you can look at your indexes too, and to see how, that they're coming in and everything, right? So I would expect this, it gave that push. It got a lot of people trapped to think it was going to break yesterday's high and pull back in. And now chances are is that it fills in the gap. And in fact, at this point now, we've been doing this for a few minutes now. So let me, like you said, let me fast forward for you. I'll just click through and see what it does. My guess is that it touches the top of this, so it fills the gap. And let's see. I'm gonna wait and see what it does here. Let me step forward a few minutes. I'm stepping forward 10 minutes here, it looks like. Awesome. I mean that's how you do it. I hope that kind of makes sense. I wish it was a little bit easier to tell. It's easier when it's old. So let's see. Yeah. So I missed that by a penny. So there's a chance that it could fill that. Right. Here's your VWAP. Right. So at this point, in the next 20 seconds or so, it's going to. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward. And then, right, so it went inside 60. So at this point, what I would do is put like an alert here, right, and an alert there, and then just to let me, figure out what's going on, if it breaks to the upside or breaks to the downside. So here now we're under the VWAP, so it could take this low of 153.71, and it could possibly go down because it never filled that, never quite touched that bar, that anchor bar from yesterday. So, so we'll see what it does there. So I would check for that to go to the downside because we're under the VWAP. So now let me skip to 130. Does this do military time? Let's see. I would imagine it does. So let's go 13, 29. All right, let's see where we're at 130. Then we'll go back and look and see if it actually broke it to the downside. Yeah, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, so, yeah, we'll take a look at AMD. I'm not going to go back and do it today, through the on-demand, but these are things that you can definitely practice doing, right? But yeah, when you're doing it, look, see what happens, see? So this is here. So this is so it's 130, right? But look what happened, right? It went inside, and look what it did. It broke. What you do is when you have these inside bars, you put your stop up here. Look, it never stopped it out, right? So you'd have been fine, and you shorted there because you're under the VWAP, right? And it would have gone down all the way to here, and you would have moved your stop. So your entry is 153.71. It hit all the way to 153.31, so 40 cents, and then 152.96. So another, another 40 cents there. So, and this is when Netflix was $1.50. So that's pretty good, right? I mean, it's almost $1, and then it's going inside right here. So you just see how that behaves. And then you go, my other time frame as I look at is 2:30, so we'll go 14:30. I'll just go straight to it, and we'll see. And happy Veterans Day, everybody. So all my brothers and sisters, fellow brothers and sisters who served, so we appreciate you. So yeah, so we go. So this one here, you could have held this, Netflix, however you want to, stair step it down and everything. So, it went all the way down to 152.52. So, and it was 153.71. So over $1 to the downside, basically. Yeah, if you just keep your stop over the VWAP, never would have stopped you out on that one. So that's basically how you do it. So it's pretty interesting stuff. But it gives you a little more confidence when you're trading the open if you have an anchor point to trade from, right? Especially if you're gapping up. Now, can you fade every gap? Not necessarily, but I mean, sometimes they just gap and go because the whole market's going crazy, even if there's no news. But if there's no news on it and the market's just gapping up, there's a good chance for it to at least fade it at some point. So here, honestly, it would have been a good spot to short it here, right? Because it attempted yesterday's high, which was, or the prior day's high, which was 155.68. Hit 155.62, failed, came back in. You could have shorted there and put your stop right above that, right? And you could have ridden that for $2.43 all the way down to the bottom. So that's another technique you could do. It's against my rules because you're over the VWAP, but it is something you could do, right? So yeah, so that's that. Let me exit out of on demand now. I hope that was kind of helpful. It was just something, I got a request on Twitter to do it. I thought it'd be a good idea. And one of these days, maybe even this Friday, because I'll be at home, might be able to live stream either the open or at least a key time frame during the day if I find something interesting. This way, you guys, if you're at your desks, you could just kind of pop in and see what we're looking at. But that just kind of shows how you look at the open, and all that. So using the prior day 60 time frame. So I hope that helps. So yeah, let's see. So let's take a look at some chart requests here. So I've got day trader 911. We got AMD. Let's see. Yeah, so AMD. Let's just go ahead and go through this here. So the monthly, you're still in between your monthly 5 and 10 moving averages, right? So it's kind of got some indecision there, but it is green, so it might want to go to the upside. We had on Thursday, we had a decent reversal bar here off of the weekly 50 moving average, and then I'm sorry, I said Thursday, 2 weeks ago, and then it just kind of stalled out here when it hit the 5. On the daily though, let's see how we're looking. We still have a gap to fill here, and we have a green hammer that got over the VWAP, right? And so these guys are kind of pointing up. So and futures are up. So there is a chance, for this thing to go and try to fill the gap at some point. But let's see how it closed. Right? It closed with a inside 60, but it's over the VWAP. So this is a good thing to watch at the open. Is pull up your 60s, right? Not without the pre-market data, and you do that by where's that here? So show extended hours trading. You take that, you make sure it's unchecked, or you go to your settings, which is well, you guys can't see that anyway. But you go to your settings, you can adjust it there. So it's just it's called extended hours. So you take that off, right? So you use that as your reference here. So let's say we gap up tomorrow, right? We see what we do, right? And personally, I think it's going to be. I think we'll gap up tomorrow, but I think it's another perfect bearish setup. I think the days of buy the dip are gone. I think now we're in the days of sell the rip, right? So until proven otherwise, everything I'm seeing is lower highs and lower lows. And so if we gap up, I think it's a great opportunity to short, right? So the way you short it is if we gap up here, is you wait, okay? I mean, you could try to do it as you enter this range, but like I said, it could bounce off of that and go right back in your face, right? So what you want to do is the VWAP should be up by the morning because it does incorporate pre-market data. And so it should be up here. And so if it comes back in, then if you short there, you'd probably be under the VWAP anyway, right? So you'd be okay. So your short would be at basically a 21 break. And then your first target would be here is 20.73. So that's about 30 cents. Then here, 66, 40 cents. So that's a good possibility for AMD for tomorrow. Or, like I said, it could rip, and if there's some news out or something like that, there is a gap up here to fill at 22.75. So if it really wants to, it could go up there too. What's up? What's up, Praveen? Let's see. Gosh, you always have the best stocks, let me say, that I've never heard of before. Okay, Equinix. $384. What is this thing? Redwood City, California. Real estate investment. Oh, it's a REIT. A real estate investment trust. Okay, I mean, if you're into REITs, that's cool. REITs are tough to trade, but let's see. Let's see what it's got going on. It's got dividends coming up on 11/13, which is Tuesday. There is a dividend strategy that's out there that you can consider trading. Usually when dividends trade, as long as there's nothing really bearish going on with the stock, it'll gap down a little bit or it'll go down a little bit because of the dividend, because it's paying that out, right? So it essentially lowers the value of the stock. But usually it's just temporary and then it ends up going back up. So if you look for a 60-minute bullish setup on a dividend, if it's down on a dividend, you can usually find a good way to go up as long as the market is favorable to it. So this Equix, right? So monthly still inside. Looks like it's staring at this monthly 50-day moving average or 50 moving average. The prior week, right? It put in a hammer, failed. It took the upside a little bit, failed, and now it's kind of back in that range of that week. And then the daily just kind of hanging on. It's really hard to say. It just had earnings a couple days ago, which looked pretty bad. It looked like they were estimating $5, and it actually came in at $1. So, so it's pretty rough. So obviously, I would be kind of bearish on this thing just because of its fundamentals. But you know, just see how it trades. How many shares does this thing trade? 81,000. This is really thinly traded stock, bro. Just be careful with it unless you know something about it. But it is inside 60 to close, so you can trade it. But yeah, really thinly traded. Only 90,000 shares every hour, so 40,000. Pretty thinly traded. Let's see, Devon. Was that Devon Energy? So this will be interesting. Apparently, this weekend there was like some big news about like oil, like that's sending oil up. Let me see. Yeah, where's our oil futures? Is that on here? Yeah, CL. Well, it's up 56 cents. But yeah, there's like lessening of oil supplies, like from Iran or somewhere in the Middle East. But it could send oil higher. So these energy type things usually get affected by that at some point. Let's see. Fundamentally, independent energy company, exploration of oil. Yeah, so the oil company. Yeah, so there's your hourly, right? Try to put in a shooter over the VWAP. Your daily screen reversal, earnings had pretty good earnings, so there's a good chance for some bullish action in the future, you know, to respond to that. Still in a weekly downtrend, kind of dojied out on the week, and monthly is still here. But look, you got a 5 crossing the 10 MA too on the monthly, so that's pretty bearish. So we'll see if that gets any follow through. But you see how it paused here and then kind of came back up. So it's pausing here. We still have a bit of a month left to go. So we'll see. I mean, let's see if it can digest those earnings positively and take it to the upside. I don't see any real actionable signals on this thing, but definitely interesting to keep an eye on. I've traded it before. It trades real nice. What's up, YOLO? Do you enter the instant the alert goes off? No. You're talking about like when I set an alert on something. All an alert does is signal me, because like I do a lot of when I'm at work, like I have my phone, right? So it basically signals, and even if I'm at my computer, trading at the house, when an alarm goes off or an alert goes off, it just forces me to look at that, and I usually have an idea of why I had the alert on it. So I just kind of look and see what the market's doing, right? So I look at the futures and I look at the stock itself and see what it's doing to see if it makes sense to trade it, right? But at the very least, it gives me a reason to look at it, to go back and look at it, right? Because I don't have multiple screens and all that stuff. It just is my way to know if something's happening. So after the next one, it kind of closes past the alert level. Yeah. So yeah, I don't trade off the 1 minute candle. I don't trade off of 1 minute because it's too easy to get stopped out for me, depending on what you're trading. But what I will do is just, if you look historically on these things, let me, let's look, what we have on the hourlies of the day. So what I'll do is, I'm just trying to find a decent, I think Amazon had a pretty good one on Friday. See if it did something good. It moved for sure. What was that inside? One of these had like something reasonable trade the other day. Okay, so this looks like it was sort of, let me see, low, 96. Yeah, it's hard to really get an actual, let's just go back here, right? So here you had a nice shooter here that was under the VWAP on Thursday. And so what I would have done is, set an alert, and then basically I would just would have watched it, and just see what it did. I would have gone back once it triggered and then seen, went to go see, what it was doing, right? So if it alerted, I'd look at it. It doesn't mean I necessarily go in it, because it might still want to like test, half the range or something like that. And a lot of times it takes 2, 3, sometimes 4 times on these stocks to really break on these hourly breaks. Or you could just do it and set your stop up here, right? So those kind of your options, right? I don't mind missing a trade, if I just don't feel comfortable with the way the price is moving. But if I saw it kind of come up here and then really start screaming down and the futures were pointing down and stuff like that, yeah, I would jump right in. I'd keep my stop up here initially, and then as soon as it went to profit, I would move my stop back to profit and then just kind of trim and trail as we go back down, if that makes sense. So yeah, so it's all about, that's why I kind of wanted to show that on-demand thing tonight, is just so you could kind of get a look at just watching that price go and where you kind of enter, right? And it's all about momentum and velocity too, right? I mean, you guys have seen it, right? It's just things just kind of drift and do nothing, and right, you don't want to trade that, right? Like, you want something that's like getting some heat, you know what I'm saying? Getting some action. So you want something that's moving, right? Because you don't want to just jump in just because it ticked, or like you said, like the candle closed. You don't want to do it that, but I always do it on a break, right? So I'm never going to jump in before it breaks out of a candle, right? So I call that premature speculation. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, I always wait till it breaks past that point. So, and sometimes I give it a few more cents too. So like if there's a whole number near it, like what was AMD? So let's just say AMD tomorrow. It was the 21 break, right? So I might do, let's say we gap up tomorrow, right? And it comes in and it kind of hangs out in this area. It kind of comes up a little bit and then starts just puking into it, right? So I would have like probably a conditional order. So this is 2103, right? There's usually algorithmic buying that happens around these whole numbers or in half numbers, right? So 2150 and 21, right? So sometimes you get some algorithmic buying that just tries to push it up over that a little bit, So I like to put my entry, and look here. So this is a prior day's low right here. So I mean that's almost not such a bad place either. So 20.97, I might do like 20.94 just to get past that initial breakdown, right? Because this is only 14 cents, right? And I would have my stop above that mother bar, like a penny or two above that mother bar. So the stop here would be 21.19. I might make it 21.21, right? And an entry down here. So it increases your risk a little bit, but at least it gets you out of trouble here in case it comes down and bounces back up, right? So I'll just give it just depends on what the price action is doing. Don't do it just because, right? You need some velocity to get behind. You need some momentum to get behind. So, yeah, no problem. All right, Carl, what's going on? All right, so AGN inside week. Yeah, so yeah, I'm the same way. I don't trade pharma. But just because it's just so bouncy and goofy. But yeah, inside week on that. So I mean, that's definitely worth taking a look at. So you have to see how the 5MA is kind of curling over it and everything. Definitely, I'll put an alert on it just to watch. Yeah, I mean, if I was going to trade anyone, Allergan or Allergan would be one to trade. Because it's, it's like a Pfizer. I mean, but even Pfizer and Teva, those are pretty tough. But we'll take a look at it either way. Yeah. So yeah, inside week there. The month. Let's see, higher high, lower low, higher. I'm sorry, lower high, lower low, lower high. Let's see if it puts in a lower low on the month. Inside week. To the downside, could do it. And then you had like, was that an inside day the other day? I think I did pop on my scanner. No, it wasn't quite an inside day, but see how is the 200-day moving average has now become resistance for it. So I mean, who knows? I mean, it may come back up and try it again, but if not, I mean, you're looking to the downside with the potential target eventually of 155, right? So it could, you never know on this thing. I mean, the 60s are pretty weak. It tagged the low of the day at the end of the day with volume. So we'll see. It definitely looked weak on AGN, so definitely keep an eye on it. Yeah. That was pretty good stuff. Sorry, it was a little boring at the beginning, trying to go through the on-demand stuff, but hopefully it does help just kind of walk through it. Just kind of gives you an idea of how I look at trading those 60 anchors, and then next time I'm home like during a live trading session, I'll try to pull it up and just broadcast it so anybody who wants to tune in can check it out. So oh hey Praveen, sorry, one more CWST. Oh, data center. Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it brings back memories. Oh, I know, man. Yeah. CWST, Roku. Okay, CWST. Sorry, I'm. Yeah. Yeah. CWST, Waste Systems. Another funny one. Again, not a lot of volume on this stuff, man. It's real thinly traded, so just be careful on that, right? It's not very liquid. So if you need to get out, and they're pretty wicky too, right? You got these big candle wicks. I wouldn't touch this thing, man. But just to kind of give you an analysis on it, yeah, rough on the month so far. Looks like it's almost a bearish engulfing. It's got to get back down though. Inside weak, so you could trade that to the upside or downside. And but it did put in a hammer day. So yeah, just watch the volume on this thing, man. It's really thinly traded. I like at least an average of 1 million shares a day, so you can get out if you need to. You don't want to like mark it out and then end up being down here, and you're the one who like load ticked it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hey man, my pleasure. And you'll see Roku was moving slowly, so the 15-minute candle closing past the alert. Hey, that's great, man. Yeah, Roku. I'm gonna have my eyes off it tomorrow because it's already been a couple days on it, but it's definitely. Oh man, that does look good, doesn't it? Goodness gracious, yeah. So and it would have worked beautifully off the 5 that first day, but yeah, the 15 on this day it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I still think it's worth watching. You could probably watch a 30-minute on it on Monday. There's gonna be other stuff. I think Baba's the one to watch tomorrow, so it's gonna have the most action, I think. But Baba trades a little crazy, so yeah. But so does Roku. But yeah, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Tomorrow's Monday, so just take it easy this week. Again, I think until proven otherwise, I think every gap up is going to be a selling opportunity. So obviously it might push a little bit into the open with the bulls, try to show some strength, but I think ultimately they're going to keep getting pressed by the bears. So I would look at short opportunities. So, and of course I'll put a game plan out and tweet out ideas as I have opportunities during the day. So, all right, guys, have a good night. Appreciate tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.